Have you ever wondered what happens when a nation decides to completely rewrite the rules of space exploration? Well, China just shocked the world with what they're building in orbit, and what you're about to discover will make you question everything you thought you knew about the future of humanity beyond Earth. While Western media keeps you distracted with the same old space stories, China's quietly racing ahead, building technologies that look straight out of science fiction. AI-powered space stations that think for themselves, lunar bases with 3D printed habitats, and spacecraft that can refuel in orbit and travel to Mars faster than anything NASA has ever built. And yet, barely a whisper in the West. Because what's happening right now isn't just about rockets and satellites. China's building something far more powerful, a complete space infrastructure that will dominate the next century. And once you see what they're capable of, you'll realize the future isn't coming. It's already here, and China's leading. Let me start with something that sounds impossible. Remember when building anything in space meant launching every single component from Earth at astronomical costs? Well, China said not anymore. They've developed the world's first fully operational in-orbit manufacturing system. This isn't just assembling pre-made parts, like building with Lego blocks. We're talking about actual manufacturing, 3D printing, and construction happening 400 kilometers above Earth. The Tiangong space station now has robotic arms equipped with advanced 3D printing technology that can create components using materials harvested from asteroids and space debris. Think about what this means. Instead of spending millions of dollars launching a single satellite component, China can now manufacture it directly in space using materials that are already floating around up there. They've created mobile space factories that can produce solar panels, structural beams, and even electronic components in zero gravity. The manufacturing precision in microgravity is actually superior to Earth-based production for certain materials. Without gravity interfering, you can create perfect spheres, flawless crystals, and ultra-pure alloys that are impossible to make on our planet. But here's where it gets absolutely mind-blowing. China isn't just manufacturing small parts. They're building entire satellites in orbit. In 2024, they successfully assembled and deployed a communications satellite that was completely manufactured in space, never touching Earth's surface. The satellite was 40% larger than anything that could fit inside a rocket fairing, proving that space-based construction eliminates the size limitations that have constrained space technology for decades, and they're not stopping there. By 2030, China plans to have a network of orbital factories producing everything from spacecraft components to pharmaceutical compounds that can only be synthesized in microgravity. Now let's talk about something that will completely transform how we think about space travel. China's revolutionary nuclear-powered spacecraft. While other countries are still relying on chemical rockets that take months to reach Mars, China has successfully tested a nuclear thermal propulsion system that could cut that journey time to just 45 days. This isn't some distant concept. They've already conducted ground tests of their nuclear engine, and orbital tests are scheduled for 2026. The system uses a small nuclear reactor to superheat hydrogen propellant to extreme temperatures, creating thrust that's 3 times more efficient than conventional rockets. What's truly revolutionary is the endurance. Chemical rockets burn their fuel in minutes and then coast through space. China's nuclear spacecraft can fire its engines continuously for weeks, constantly accelerating and reaching speeds that make current space travel look like horse-drawn carriages compared to bullet trains. The implications are staggering. With this technology, the entire solar system becomes accessible. Jupiter's moons, the asteroid belt, even the outer planets could be reached in timeframes that make human missions actually feasible. China has already announced plans for a nuclear-powered mission to Jupiter's moon Europa in 2035, a journey that would take conventional spacecraft over 6 years, but their nuclear ship could complete in under 2 years. But wait, there's something even more ambitious that China's building right now that will change everything. They're constructing the world's first permanent lunar base, and it's not just a small research outpost. We're talking about a fully functional city on the moon. The International Lunar Research Station, a joint project with Russia and several other nations, will be operational by 2030. But here's what makes it absolutely incredible. The base will be largely constructed using lunar regolith, the moon's surface material, as the primary building resource. China has developed specialized 3D printers that can take lunar soil, heat it using concentrated solar energy, and print it into solid structures layer by layer. This solves the biggest problem with space construction. You don't need to launch building materials from Earth. The lunar base will house up to 100 people permanently, with rotating crews conducting scientific research, mining operations, and serving as a staging point for deeper space missions. China's already tested the life support systems, the power generation using both solar and small nuclear reactors, and the food production systems using hydroponic farms. They've even developed AI systems that can manage the base's operations autonomously, reducing the need for constant human oversight. The base will have laboratories for studying lunar geology, astronomy observatories taking advantage of the moon's lack of atmosphere, and mining facilities extracting water ice from permanently shadowed craters. That water ice is the key to everything because it can be split into hydrogen and oxygen, providing both breathable air and rocket fuel, making the moon a genuine refueling station for missions to Mars and beyond. And here's where China's vision gets truly revolutionary. They're not building this lunar base just for science. They're building it as the foundation of a space-based economy. China has identified rare Earth elements and helium-3 on the moon, resources that are incredibly valuable and scarce on Earth. Helium-3 could be the fuel for future fusion reactors, potentially solving Earth's energy crisis forever. China's planning to begin commercial mining operations on the moon by 2035, shipping resources back to Earth and establishing the first extraterrestrial economy in human history. But the most shocking part? While other space agencies are still arguing about budgets and timelines, China is already testing the technologies that will make all of this possible. They've landed rovers on the far side of the moon, returned samples from the lunar surface, built a modular space station, and developed the heavy lift rockets needed to transport massive payloads. Every piece of the puzzle is falling into place, and they're moving faster than anyone predicted. What we're witnessing isn't just technological advancement, it's a complete paradigm shift in humanity's relationship with space. China is proving that space isn't just a place we visit for science experiments, it's a place we can live, work, manufacture, mine, and build entire civilizations. The technologies they're developing today, the orbital factories, the nuclear spacecraft, the lunar bases, these aren't science fiction concepts for the distant future. They're engineering projects with timelines, budgets, and hardware already being tested. So here's the question that should be keeping everyone awake at night. What happens when one nation controls the infrastructure of space? When China has orbital factories, lunar bases, and the fastest spacecraft in the solar system, they won't just be participating in space exploration. They'll be defining it. The rules, the standards, the access, everything will flow through the systems they're building right now. The future of humanity isn't just being written in space. It's being built there, piece by piece, by a nation that decided the final frontier was too important to leave to chance. And whether the world is ready or not, that future is arriving faster than anyone imagined. What did you think of these technologies? Would you dare to live on China's lunar base? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more content about the most amazing technologies shaping our future. See you in the next one.